Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's officially daytime, and I guess that means my videos are darker now somehow. Either way, I did not want to overwhelm Waldo or make it appear as though I was getting some unfair advantage by having videos and not, making videos that were really long. I know I didn't respond to his claims of the Jews being in Egypt and why there is no evidence of such a large number. However, Waldo reached out to me and he said he wanted my first response to be a bit longer. He feels as though he didn't really have that much to respond to. I did not want to immediately jump on Jews being slaves during the Exodus in Egypt and how many there were, why I don't think he's right on the matter, but essentially he did quite literally ask for it, so here we go. About 2 million Jews, if we take what the Bible says at face value, resided in Egypt. We know this by doing calculations with the men. It says in the Bible 600,000 men left on foot. This number did not include women or children. Now, the number 600,000 for the Israelites is problematic for more reasons than I think even Waldo understands. Forget the simple fact, well, there's no evidence that many. What about the fact that at that point in time, according to Dr. Jeffrey Benner, who has authored over a dozen books related to the Bible and the Hebrew language, he also taught thousands how to read the Bible in Hebrew for themselves. According to this man, he says the number 6 million is problematic because in the outline it gives for how the Israelites ought to build their camp, if the measurements are taken, then it would be an obnoxiously long walk to use the bathroom, because they had to use the bathroom on the outskirts. So given that many people creating a camp with the dimensions that big, as the Bible says they were to, that would be an obnoxiously long walk to the bathroom. Also, and even more, is simply how much food and water these people would have had to have. It's unreasonable to assume that they would have had that much food and water to sustain them. According to him, they even would have outnumbered the Egyptians themselves. So the number 600,000, therefore getting a total of about 2 millions, doesn't quite seem right. It doesn't seem right for a lot of reasons. Keep in mind, Pharaoh sent 600 chariots out to round up the Israelites. That is not enough chariots to round up a group of that size. Likewise, the Israelites go to the Promised Land, but they're afraid of the inhabitants, even though they drastically outnumber the inhabitants. That is, if we take it at the about 2 million mark. So what exactly is the problem here? Well, I do not believe the Bible is wrong. I believe that our interpretation of the Bible has been wrong. I believe there to be less than 2 million. And for that, I'd like to turn to the what the hell? The Prophecy Society of Atlanta, who explains the matter as such. Book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 19 says, quote, "As the Lord commanded Moses, so he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai," unquote. And Book of Numbers, chapter 2, verse 32 says, quote, "These are those which were numbered of the children of Israel by the house of their fathers. All those that were numbered of the camps throughout their hosts were 600,000 and 3,550. Furthermore, the Book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 22 through 46 says that the number of men from each tribe who were 20 years old or older were as followed. Get ready for this, I never was a very big fan of numbers. 46,500 men from Reuben, 59,300 men from Simeon, 45,650 men from Gad, 74,600 men from Judah, 54,400 men from Issachar. This is why I wanted to break it up, Waldo. 57,400 men from Zebulun, 40,500 men from Euphraim, 32,200 men from Messiah, 35,400 men from Benjamin, 62,700 men from Dan, 41,500 men from Asher, 53,400 men from Naphtali, totaling about, or exactly, 603,550 total. Note that Numbers 232 includes all the children of Israel, men, women, and children, etc., whereas Numbers 120 through 46 is stated only in terms of men over 20 years of age. Obviously, since the sums are identical, the figure 603,550 must be referring to both instances to the numbers of men over 20 years of age, and apparently include those in the household for which they are spiritually responsible, not just the men by themselves. Now note that the figure for each tribe as recorded in Numbers chapter 1 ends in 0, which is the first hint that the term number is not a simple consensus, or in other words a head count, but something else, since it is unlikely that each of the 12 tribes would have a total number of people divisible by the number 10. So the term number must have a broader meaning in addition to taking a head count, and it does. It is the redemption value of the children of Israel, a value that was to be calculated, numbered, as revealed in Exodus chapter 30, 11 through 15, as follows. Quote, "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, When thou takest the sum of the children of Israel after their number, then shall they give every man a ransom for his soul unto the Lord. When thou numberest them, and there be no plague among them, when thou numberest them, this they shall give every one that passeth among them that are numbered. Half a shekel after the shekel of the sanctuary. A shekel is 12 gerahs. A half shekel shall be the offering of the Lord. Everyone that passeth among them that are numbered, from 20 years old and above, shall give an offering unto the Lord. The rich shall not give more, and the poor shall not give less than half a shekel, when they give an offering unto the Lord to make an atonement for your souls." The first sentence shows the process of numbering. Numbering involved taking a sum and assigning a ransom value. A head count was taken, the ransom value was applied, and that resulted in a number for the tribes of Israel. Since the redemption value for each individual was half a shekel, and a shekel was defined as 20 gerahs, that each person would have had a redemption value of 10 gerahs. the redemption value or number of the children of Israel was 63,550 gods, which indicates there were 60,355 Israelites who came out of Egypt in the Exodus. By the way, since I have heard this objection from atheists, note that under the law of the Levites, notice that under the law, the Levites were later exempt from being numbered, henceforth why there is more than 600,000 when we tally up the salvation number. All in all, I do not believe that million, 2 million the Israelites were in Egypt. However, I do in fact believe that there was closer to that number, about maybe 63,000. Now, this is it. I responded. By these calculations, the Israelites would have been akin to the crowd of people that leave a football game. So that could make up for the lack of evidence. Why are there no mentions of the Israelite God on Egypt? Well, we don't really have much of a reason to think that slaveholders care to record the slaves' beliefs. This is especially true in the Egyptian world. Look at Muhammad. Look at how we lost a bunch of cultures to him. He conquered them and paved right over them. Things about what the Native Americans believed, even as recently as that, the religion of the slaves in Africa when they were brought over here. We don't really know. We don't have records. People who are slaveholders don't generally care about what the slaves believed or to record it. Now, another objection is perhaps that the Egyptians purposely wiped all records of the Jewish God from their records. Now, this seems plausible, despite what Holy Kool-Aid has to say about it in his video, because we know that the Egyptians did have an act for doing this. They did try once or twice. And in that video, Holy Kool-Aid's objection is, well, they tried, but they couldn't destroy, some gods. And I watched this video and I thought to myself, well, that's sound logic, isn't it? We shouldn't believe that the Egyptians were successful in wiping this god from the records because they weren't successful in wiping this god from the records. That's illogical. At the end of the day, I really hope I could have made this shorter, but I did have to kind of read word for word because it wasn't really a way to paraphrase that would have made sense. And I guess till then, it is now your turn, Waldo.